guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Britt and I am here today to do a speed build for you. So this build was actually inspired by the Polynesian resort in Walt Disney World. The Polynesian resort is a really cool place. I've never personally stayed there, but one year when we were there, my sister and her family actually got some real true Disney magic, and they were actually upgraded to the bungalows, which are in the lagoon, and they overlook Magic Kingdom, which was absolutely incredible. So the night that they got to move into these bungalows, their bungalow, we were able to go and see the bungalow, and we've just thought ever since that it's just the most beautiful place ever. And unfortunately, a thing that we will probably never see again, because it is not a cheap place to be. So it's incredible that they got upgraded without any extra cost. It was absolutely incredible. So it is kind of set up like a hotel. So there is a TV in the 2 bedrooms, but these bungalows are essentially your own house that you get to live in, and there's a line of them. If you've ever been to Disney World, you've seen them, I'm sure, if you were on the lagoon. But there's this really cool line of all these different little single family houses, essentially, and they each have their own deck that's like fenced in over the lagoon, and each one has a pool as well. And obviously, and I actually tried it because I wasn't sure if there was the capability or not, but I did try to build a pool, and it didn't work. And it never occurred to me that I should have just deleted part of the foundation, which would have basically done the same thing. So I was kind of disappointed with myself after I filmed this and realized that I could have done that. So that is definitely something that I missed. So I was looking at the layout of the bungalows, because this is not from memory. Like I said, it's been a few years, and I was only in there personally just the one time. So I was definitely looking at a picture of the layout of the bungalow while I did this, and I don't know, I think it turned out pretty okay. I had to take some liberties, obviously, just because certain capabilities in The Sims and shapes of furniture. The 1 bedroom that I've already built should have had a king bed in it, but king beds don't exist in The Sims. So there's, like I said, a few liberties, closets and things like that. I don't actually have the pack that you need in order to have closets in The Sims, so I can't build real closets. So if I ever have to build a closet, I just kind of make do with what I need. But I just was able to escape I was able to escape building a closet for this one. But these bungalows are super, super cool. If you ever have the opportunity to see them, you need to, because they are so cool. But since this is a Polynesian inspired pack, I figured that it was just ideal to build the Disney World bungalows. I know my nieces want to give it a try as well at some point, so maybe I will actually do speed builds for them as well and like record them doing it, but then I'll talk about it and talk about, like, you know, the way they decide to do it or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so now I'm working on the 2nd bathroom. So these bungalows are 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom. And then not to mention that there's also a pull-out bed for the couch as well. So it sleeps quite a few different people within the actual bungalows themselves. So I right there was just switching out the doors, because I generally like the doors that are like they're single doors, but they take up 2 spaces, because I think they look nice. But in this case, I needed to use a single space door just because of how things were laid out in the 1 bedroom. Adding the roof there, you can kind of see, this is when I was like, wait, the front is straight. So now I have to like alter the front. So this is where I was kind of playing around with some wasted space. Again, because I think mostly thrown off due to the fact that I don't have closets, and I think that's what probably threw it off. But yeah, I think this actually turned out pretty cool. I like the way it ended up looking in the end. but I hope you guys enjoy it. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever stayed in one of the bungalows or if you've been inside one of the bungalows. Let me know how you felt. This is me trying to put the pool in, and I was like, oh, right. Well, that makes sense. I can't put pool where there's, where they could just swim in the ocean. Because unfortunately, you can't swim outside of the bungalow in Disney World because of crocodiles and things like that. But in situations like this, where it's the ocean, it's a little bit easier to swim. But yeah, so this ended up turning out pretty cool. I liked it. The one thing I always tend to forget, so I apologize if you prefer having them, I always forget curtains. And I don't know why. I always forget curtains. So here I'm going to play with the roof a little bit. The roof was kind of an interesting one because of the way that the roof looks in the bungalow itself. And so I was just trying to recreate that as best I could. Obviously, I had to take some liberty with the coloration just because we don't have the same swatch that Disney uses in for their siding and things like that. So obviously some liberties were taken there, but like I said, I think it turned out okay. I really liked it. And I didn't really go out and look for like custom content. I don't really want to put a ton of custom content in my builds just because they're a lot harder to download that way. There was accidentally moving a roof that I didn't want to move. But if I ever do put custom content, I will obviously put the link to where you can get the custom content if you want to download it. That was the decision that I had made to the one that you just cannot find anything similar. I looked for a little while and I just could not find anything similar to what is actually on the bungalows. But yeah, like I said, I think this turned out really well. That kind of jut out part is actually a bridge onto because they're not like half on water, half off water like these are. They're like over the water completely. You have to take a bridge to get to the bungalow. So it's really cool. Like I said, if you've not seen it and you get the opportunity, you really should. They are so cool, those bungalows. Yeah, here I am adding the flooring. Disney World is one of my favorite places in the entire world. So the fact that I was able to build something that even remotely reminds me of Disney World just made me very happy. It's kind of our favorite place as a family. We try to plan trips as often as we can to Disney World, just because we can't stay away for very long. And I'm really lucky because I actually get to go to Disneyland here this coming year, hopefully, if all goes according to the plan. I've never actually been to Disneyland, so that'll be really fun. I was accidentally not pressing the right button to delete the wall. But I think this really turned out nicely. I tried really hard to just use the plants from the pack. So chances are good. I don't know what would disappear because there's a lot that I use specifically from this particular pack. I tried to stick to this pack and base game, but my favorite bathtub and my favorite toilet are not from the base game. So those are being used, and I can't remember about the kitchen what all is base game. I think that might all be base game, but like I said, I tried really hard to stick to this pack and base game so it's easier to download. But my favorite toilet comes from Seasons and stuff like that. So I decided to put, since it's gonna be a house, I decided to put like a grill and seating out where the pool is supposed to be. And it's just like a wading pool. It's not like a pool you can really swim in, but it's like a hot tub sized pool, but it's not a hot pool. If you saw in the bathrooms the way I did the mirrors, because I'm the kind of person who likes like a wall of mirrors behind her sink. So I turned on the move objects cheat and I used the single like big mirror. I just put it behind the sink and I did 3 of them overlapping, so then it looks like it's completely seamless, like just one huge mirror. I do that in a lot of my bathrooms just because I think that just looks really sleek, and that's definitely the way that I personally prefer my bathroom mirrors to look like. I prefer massive mirrors, and that's just one of the easiest ways to do that. I tend to go not overhead lighting, so this was unusual for me to do a lot of overhead lighting to do those chandeliers, but I wanted to use this pack. So I specifically, in a lot of situations, tried to just put in like I said, stuff from this pack. And so because there was no other real great option, that's why I used those instead of lamps. Here I'm trying to put a ladder in, but I think the actual house itself is just too big, so it just wasn't going to happen. So your Sims will have to like leave the house and not be able to get into the water from the deck, which makes sense because it's the same exact way, obviously, for the real bungalows. So I guess it fits the aesthetic pretty well. And then I realized I forgot a dresser in that bedroom and decided to put one in. So yeah, this ended up being a really cool build, and I really enjoyed it. Putting in some extra stuff in the bathrooms here, because this kind of spot that I'm fixing up right now was actually supposed to be a closet. So obviously I had to make do without capability of building a closet. I tend to also forget to put like things in the bathrooms because I don't generally do a lot in the bathrooms. Like I don't get super specific in bathrooms. I tend to like, I hate where those clip. I really do. It doesn't look real to me. Anyway, but I tend to like ignore the bathrooms. I put in the bare essentials into the bathrooms, and sometimes I forget like even sinks. I tend to forget sinks, and I don't know why I tend to forget sinks, but I don't think I forgot any sinks in this particular build. But yeah, this I think really fit the look of the bungalow really well. I really do feel like it worked out really, really well. Here I'm just doing some landscaping. Again, I was trying really hard to play with just the pack landscaping. I'm not the greatest at landscaping. I think I've said that before. I'm not the greatest at it, but I do genuinely enjoy it. But we're almost done here. I did size up one of those plants, or two of them technically. I sized those up just so that they would appear. I like overlapping plants, as you can kind of see, but I kind of gave up because I was like, you know what, it's beautiful enough. And I put a tree out in the water just to kind of really give it that feeling. And I was having trouble placing the leaning tree, but I wanted that leaning tree in there. And eventually just put it like that. Put a couple more trees and done with that. So that's the way it looks on the outside. Like I said, it turned out really, really well. I am renaming it, having trouble because it was too long, because I wanted to name it Disney's Polynesian Bungalow, but I wasn't able to. So I made it a party place, and breezing braces, and I can't remember the last one, and I can't see it well from my screen. But yes, there it is. Here are the screenshots. So enjoy. If you guys haven't subscribed, please do for more like this. Check out my Island Living Let's Play, and hit the bell if you would so like to be notified every time I upload a new video. Bye, guys.